ever wondered what it was like to restart an off-the-track thoroughbred, then follow along with Zara's journey here. So when I first bring home an off-the-track thoroughbred, there's 3 things that I focus on before I start worrying about the ridden work. So the first one is their living situation. So horses on the track are very used to living in stalls, and depending on the trainer and how they're managed, some have been in turnout or get turnout over winter. I don't know what her situation was, but she has been incredibly easy to handle and taken to everything really well. So when she first got here, we did pull her back shoes only to see if she could go out with a herd, and she actually did pretty well. So here she's meeting on a lead line my 4-year-old colt. Well, I guess he's not colt. My 4-year-old gelding for the first time. So we were just trying to get a feel for how that would work. But he is a really great ambassador for new horses. He's curious and he gets them running around. So these are my 2 older thoroughbreds. This is a week or so later. So we kind of thought she might fit in really well with them because they all run around. There she is, being adorable. She really does like to spend time with people. Like she's definitely a people horse. So she integrated really well into our herd, but a lot of horses don't. A lot of the off-the-track thoroughbreds they need that transition, like stall to small pen, stall to paddock, and then paddock with other buddies, and then, full turnout. I am a strong believer in horses live outside. They don't live in stalls, and we are just very fortunate that Zara decided that was something that she was comfortable with off the bat. So very excited that she got along with all of our horses. So she went in with Rolo, that little chestnut horse I showed a few minutes ago, and now she's in with the thoroughbreds, and we actually put her, she's quite the boss Mary type. She's not like ear penny or mean, but she definitely rules the roost. So here we are, we've taken her shoes off at this point, and she's on soft ground. She's never free lunged, so we're doing that just to see movement and all that. So then we jogged her on the rocks, which a lot of horses have a hard time with, and just having gotten her shoes off recently, her being just a little footsore on that is not surprising or unreasonable. So she's coming in for a second trim, and if you can see here, she is very much still growing. So her butt is probably 2 or 3 inches above her withers. So she's not going to be ridden this winter. So the second thing I worry about with off-the-track thoroughbreds is their feet. So it's nice to get their back shoes pulled at a minimum. We did pull all of her shoes. So these are her fronts before we trimmed her. And you can see that right front's got a different angle than our left front. But after the trim, they ended up looking really good. I'm pretty happy with her front feet. She's had great farrier care, but sometimes when they come off the track, so there was after the trim, just a little tidy up. Sometimes when they come off the track, they can be a little long and low in the heel. It's part of the shoeing situation, I think. They have improved over the years, though. They used to leave them really long. So here's her back feet, and you can tell here that she's got that negative palmar angle going on. She needs to have her toe pulled back, and she needs a little bit more heel, so tip that foot forward a little bit. And I do think that if we can get her toe pulled back, we can probably give her a better breakover point, and she might have a more flowy back stride in the back. I think, you can kind of see here she's chipped off a good chunk of where it's starting to get long. We have, they're not super rocky fields, but they wear themselves down pretty well out there. So she has a little bit of that bull nose bump on both of her back feet. And so just to give you an idea, her ankles aren't horrible. And obviously this is not like, I didn't go measure her out or get out there with like a protractor and like, or not a protractor, but she didn't have her ankles measured perfectly. But I did draw some lines on here just so you can see what they should look like. So this is what she should look like, and you really can't tell in this picture, but she does have that little bump in front of that hot pink line. So we really do need to pull her back and make her foot look more like this. I totally think it's doable. I don't think she has any conformation issues. I just think that, you know, with pulling her shoes off, this is what we have. And because she is so butt high and still growing, we are going to take our time and not ride this winter. So she's got plenty of time to adjust to barefoot in a soft field, which seems to be working just fine for her. And then you can see here, this is post-trim that we were able to get that toe back a little bit, but we're trimming her every 4 weeks and just taking really, really small amounts off. So even those small amounts with her having not been barefoot really affects, like right away, you can see it makes her just a little bit sore. I do want to emphasize that like when she's in the field on the softer ground on grass, she does just fine. I do jog her one more time post-trim after I pulled her toes back a little bit, I really want to keep good track to see if like her breakover changes at all with progress in shoeing and all that. But she was even more ouchy than she was before. So we'll monitor her, and if she looks like she does get sore in the field, which I don't anticipate her doing, we'll put some kind of we'll put shoes on her, or we'll do what's right for the horse. And then the third thing when I get an off-the-track thoroughbred is I try to work on their ground manners and just get them used to being handled as if they were a lesson horse. So a lot of she is not one of them, but a lot of the off-the-track thoroughbreds, they're used to being led with a chain or a bridle on, and some of them are just hotter, and so we do some groundwork. And then they also are, she's picking groundwork up. She leads really well. She's very polite. You know, there's just not a ton to do there. And so we're now going to focus on trying to get her comfortable standing at the mounting block. And then as we get on, convincing her that she wants to just stand instead of running off like they do on the track. So on the track, they'll just like toss the jockeys up and then they go. So the first time I did this, she trotted off, but I'm by no means a Liberty trainer or natural horsemanship, but I am trying to incorporate a little bit more of that into my training and learn more about that. And so it probably wasn't perfect, but we used some cookies and Liberty in the round pen to convince her to stand while she's being mounted, and I think that actually went pretty well. So yeah, like and subscribe and follow along for more of Zara getting accustomed to her new life.